Hello, 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 and welcome to a brand new year. A brand new year with a whole new frequency, an opportunity for us to begin again. So, welcome to 2023. And yes, it's a brand new season of Let's Get Real with Mona. That's me, Mona Naidu, for those of you who don't know me yet. And well, what am I? Who do I show up as in the world as? Well, it's 2023. And this year I'm showing up as a spiritual teacher. I am a coach. I'm a women's empowerment mentor. And through these teachings, I help you to be inspired to turn your dreams into reality. So, are you ready for this magnificent year? Because it really is a fabulous year. We have the opportunity to design our life. We have the opportunity to create whatever it is that our soul desires, whatever it is our heart desires. So, if you're ready for it, let's get cracking. Now, let me know where you're joining me from. Let me know how this new frequency of this year has been for you. Because if you're like me, well, I was kind of like yesterday on the 1st, feeling like I'm in between. I'm moving into something new, but the old was still a little bit there in that space. So yes, I had to do a bit of a spiritual practice to connect me into the new year, into the new frequency. So if you are feeling slightly offish, please know that it is normal. It's normal when we go through any change that we are moving from the old into the new. So there's a little bit of, let's say, a little bit of a wobble until we get our footing right. So let me know how you are feeling right now. Now, if you weren't aware, the theme for this year is all about spiritual wealth. Yes, many people focused just on the material wealth around them, but spiritual wealth is one of the areas of our life that we have to focus on. Because I'm sure many of you have been setting New Year's resolutions. Now, I do not believe in New Year's resolutions. I set intentions every year. And if you're watching this video right now, or you're watching this session right now, or you're listening to this session right now, no matter when it is this month, remember at this moment, the 2nd of January, if you can not have any intentions to set any resolutions, don't set any resolutions, right? Because things are shifting and changing, and we are in the energetics of the month where what you think you want to do or achieve may shift by the end of the month. So I'll encourage you to just be with the flow. There's no rush. There's no urgency to have resolutions, set goals or intentions right now. That's an error that a lot of people make, and they go right into it. And perhaps you've noticed, many people set intentions and goals and resolutions at the beginning of January. And then by the end of the month, well, they seem to be in their old patterns. Now there's a reason for that. And it's always about the energetics of change. So I'm encouraging you right now, just hold on a bit. Just wait a bit. And you'll understand through our discussion today why waiting a bit actually is helpful. So every month for this year, we're going to look at a different topic, a different subject relating to spirituality. And my question today, we're going to be looking at different topics looking at addressing spiritual wealth. And this month, we're focusing on spirituality. So when you think of the word spiritual or spirituality, what comes to your mind? Now, some people may think that it is, common sense. But here's what I found. A lot of what we think we know may be what we've learned from when we were little, maybe what we hear other people say. But how many of us actually go and do some research on it? Now, if you know me, I'm a researcher. I love researching. And I guess that's how I get to the truth. I eventually have all the information before me, and then I make a decision on it. So I encourage you, with the questions I ask every week, to go a bit deeper. Not just what you think you know, not just what you were told, but to know through your own investigations. So when one looks at spirituality or spiritual, right, the meaning of it, well, the Oxford Dictionary says this about spiritual. It says relating to or affecting the human spirit or soul as opposed to material or physical things. Now, spirituality is seen as the quality of being concerned with the human spirit or soul as opposed to material or physical things. So once again, it's all about a quality on the one hand, and then on the other thing, it's about who a person would be described as. And I love this definition from vocabulary.com. It says spiritual is the adjective form of the word spirit, which comes from the Latin word for breath and means the thing that animates life. Now just think about that. The thing that animates life. Now, many years ago, my teacher, Dr. John DiMartini, was sharing about the difference between spirit and matter. And I'm going to do my best to remember it the way he said it. Because here's what he said, that matter requires spirit to give it meaning. That's the material thing, requires spirit to give it meaning. And spirit requires matter to express itself, right? So matter, material stuff, requires spirit to give it meaning, and the material things, matter, requires spirit to did I say that correctly? Spirit requires matter to express itself, and matter requires spirit to give it meaning. I told you, I've got to practice this one because it's always a mixture of words in there. So did you get that? Spirit requires matter to express itself, and matter requires spirit to give it meaning. Right? Now, when I think about Brené Brown's definition or expression of spirituality, she says, spirituality is recognizing and celebrating that we are all inextricably connected to each other by a power greater than all of us, and that our connection to that power and to one another is grounded in love and compassion. That practicing spirituality brings a sense of perspective, meaning, and purpose to our lives. Now, how does that sit with you, right? Because that's what it is, okay? It's about understanding our connection to something greater, and our connection to each other. It is as simple as that. It's nothing fancy. It's nothing way out there. It's about how you see the world and everyone and everything around you. That's what being spiritual is. That's what spirituality is about. Understanding that everything I do affects you. Understanding that everything you do affects me. Understanding that how I show up in the world ripples out into the world. and impacts everyone either positively or negatively. Now, a lot of people have this misconception that spirituality relates to what you do. Now, yes, there are spiritual practices, but spirituality is more than just what you do. It's about who you are. Exactly what I was speaking about just now. When we understand that everything we do as an individual has a ripple effect and impacts others around us, we actually shift to understand that our words, our deeds, our thoughts, our behaviors, our habits is all interconnected, is all interrelated. It impacts everyone and everything. Who we are impacts a plant, if you didn't know that. So spirituality really is such a beautiful, beautiful aspect of us. We can't exist without the spiritual aspect of us. And I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. When we are in this very materialistic space and we ignore this connection to all and everyone that is around us, we experience certain things in life that will bring us back to connect to that spiritual side of us, that all-knowing, that all-embracing, that all-loving side of us. That side of us that is so expansive, because that's what spirituality is really about. It's about the expansive nature of our being. So how's that resonating with you right now? When you realize that spirituality is nothing more than our connection to a greater power, an infinite wisdom. Some call it God, some call it spirit, the universe, source. But it's that we aren't alone. We are part of something greater and bigger and more magnificent. We are part of something that's seen and unseen. We are part of this creation that we cannot even fathom in words what it really is. We are part of the cosmos. We are part of the stars. We are part of nature. And when you think about that, you don't feel so small anymore. You would be having a heart-expanding experience right now just by hearing that. Now, have you ever come across people asking you whether you are spiritual or you are religious? Now, what I found is that people who really are connected to their spiritual wealth, people who are really connected to their spirituality, don't find the need to ask that question because they understand that when you ask someone whether you're spiritual or religious, it's actually a limiting way to look at life. Because here's what I found. There are people who are religious, but who are not spiritual. It means that they are religious and they're so focused on one understanding of how to connect to the infinite, to God, for example. Whereas there may be people who are spiritual, but they are not religious. Now, there are some people who are religious and they are spiritual. And there's no right or wrong way here. It's about who each person is, who each person chooses to be in the world. And when we understand that everyone goes through a journey, some people may be stuck in one way of thinking, whilst others move through that. Others discover their way into something bigger and more expansive. Right? So it's been a bit difficult trying to engage with people on what my beliefs are. So in this restricted sense of it, yes, it would be spiritual. But we as individuals are more than that. When people say you are spiritual, they think generally it's about what you do, but it really is about who you are. It really is about how you show up every day, how connected you are to everything around you. It's about making conscious decisions every day that positively impact your life and positively impact others around you. And this ripple goes all over the world. It doesn't just stay and is contained where you are. Now, one of the other things I've noticed is this idea that we have to, when we are being spiritual, it is, like I've shared, contained to certain practices. And here's another beautiful example. I was taught, or the concept of spirituality was taught to me through this example. And it's all about, like, when we think about spirituality, we immediately assume that someone who's meditating is spiritual, right? Because that's what we were taught, because meditation is a spiritual practice. So we assume that because someone is sitting there in this lotus position and they are in a meditative state, that they are spiritual. And then when we see someone out there in their career, leading a group of people or doing a specific task at work, or perhaps a business owner who has a whole lot of people that are working with him and they are sending out products or delivering services to people. Now we look at that and we've been taught not to see that as spiritual. We don't even think that that's spiritual. Now, if we were thinking about it in this way, right? The person who's meditating, what if they're sitting there and they're meditating and all they can think about is what they want to have for themselves? They are sitting there meditating, but their thoughts and their meditation is all about wanting to connect to something for themselves. Now, is that what spirituality is about? No. Now, the other person, let's take the business owner, right? The business owner is there and the person's got a couple of employees. Now, this person is working and providing some service out in the world. Now, it may seem that this person is working and doing something, but here's what this person's doing. The person's providing a service to others. The person's providing employment to the employees who have families or loved ones that they are taking care of. Now, one person is impacting so many other people's lives through their actions, and they show up every day. As a business owner, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. You show up every day for other people, whether it's your clients, your customers, your employees, the contractors you work with. There's so many different levels of people that impact your business and that you impact in the world. But we've been taught that the person who's sitting there in this lotus position is the one who's more spiritual. And this is just it. Anything can be spiritual because it's how are you doing it? With what intention are you doing the action? With what intention are you showing up in the world? Now, that's what spirituality is really about. You don't have to be out there doing something different. You can do the exact same thing, but it's how you do it. And remember, when I'm talking about doing the exact same thing, you could be a teacher. That's a spiritual journey. You could be a doctor. You could be a baker. You could be a bus driver. if you understand why you are in the world, if you understand that your contribution matters and everything we do impacts others, that's when we're truly connecting with spirituality. And now, when we understand this in relation to our abundance, you see, our abundance and abundance that is there as a general concept, the flow of it is determined by how we choose to show up. Is it in alignment with our soul? Is it in alignment with the energetics of the time? Is it in alignment with who we are becoming? So there's so many different things that impact our abundance. And very often people have thought that abundance is this physical, material thing outside of us. But it happens inside of us first. It happens first on a spiritual level before it can show up in the material world. So our spiritual wealth is so much more important than we've ever been made to believe. And we've been shifting from a world that has been so focused on materialism. And don't get me wrong, the material things in life are fabulous. They are absolutely fabulous. But when we become obsessed about anything, even spirituality can become an obsession, well, then we swing in the wrong direction of where our soul wants to be. So, for this year, it is all about us reconnecting in a more deliberate way, in a more conscious way, in a more loving way to our spiritual side, claiming the treasures, the gifts, our wealth, that is our divine heritage. And we're going to be speaking more and more on different topics about this throughout the year. And for this month, like I've said, we're focusing just on the concept of spirituality. Because here's what I know, is that it's time for us to connect with the infinite beings that we are. Many of you have been on the journey, but the rest of the world's got to catch up now. But even for those of us who have been on the journey, we have sometimes slipped out of our expanded state. We've allowed fear to come into this space. And spirituality is about choosing love, no matter what is going on, about choosing to be in the state of love, choosing to embrace love, choosing to share love, no matter what's going on in the world, because that's what spirituality is about. It's about the vibration of love, because it's only through love that we feel connected to our true essence and to everyone and everything around us. So I'm going to leave you with that for today. It really is. This year is really one of our greatest gifts. This year is all about introspection. It's about connecting with the self. It's about connecting with our innate wealth, the wealth that has always been there. And I'm going to invite you today to be brave, to be courageous, to be willing to discover the true treasures, your true wealth that lies within. So until next time, ciao for now.